I was introduced to Siddhi Ma by my aunt and was given permission to stay at the ashram, even though I had made no prior arrangements for staying. I did not even realize what a huge privilege this was and that not many are given it. Siddhi Ma placed me in a room which I shared with Merlin Mira Prano, who was become a dear satsang friend. My days at the ashram were euphoric and I was so consumed by the meeting of so many satsangis who shared my love for Maharaji that the temple routine went by me quite unnoticed. I had not realized that a Maha Aarti had been scheduled to close the Navratri celebrations at Kainchi. One my last night at Kainchi, I went to retire into my room around 10 pm. But try as I did, I could not work the combination lock to open. I had been having trouble with the lock and decided to seek Mira's help with it as she seemed to know how to work the lock better. I found her sitting at the heaven and singing. I went and joined her in the aarti singing, deciding to leave when she was ready to retire. I expected she would leave in another 15 to 20 minutes as Mira liked to be up early for Siddhi Ma's morning darshan. However, an hour later, I found that Mira was showing no signs of leaving. That's when she told me about the overnight Maha Aarti, which she wanted to participate in. Then it dawned on me that that Maharaji had planned for me. He wanted me at the heaven singing the Maha Aarti and I had foolishly thought of going to bed early. We stayed up all night singing our heart out, breaking for spicy, sweet, milky tea under the starry night sky in Kainchi. Sheer magic, sheer magic. Maharaji's parties are like to no other. By 5 am my throat had packed up and I could stay up no longer. Mira opened the room locked for me and I crept into bed to sleep. And Mira returned to the Maha Aarti. I found myself wide awake and completely refreshed with just an hour's sleep and made my way back to the Aarti but found myself getting a little restless and distracted by 10 am. I was to leave for Nainital that morning and the pragmatics of that began to occupy my mind. I was getting impatient and wishing the Aarti would get over when suddenly the conch shell, Sankha, was sounded and something within me collapsed and I broke down, weeping. I managed to control myself for a few seconds while I did Aarti to Maharaji and then broke down weeping again and had to be escorted out of the heaven. Just as suddenly as I was in grips of this hysteria, I was suddenly out of it and rapidly found myself composed and quite calm. I have no idea what happened or why it happened. I left Kainchi very high and very confused.